Institutionalization of crypto is going on in a totally massive manner, and that is truly extraordinarily bullish for XRP. And in case you do maintain XRP, I'm going to tell you men right now, you want to live round till the stop of this video. Welcome to the channel. My call is Nick. For those which are new to the channel, with any luck by the stop of this video, you do emerge as a subscriber. If we take a look at what has been happening around crypto, glaringly the huge awareness is ETFs, what BlackRock's doing, what this gamers is doing. Well, even extra lately, we have been noticing that those large players like BNY Mellon, for instance, are, you understand, clearing the SEC evaluation and ultimately getting a quick track into having custody offerings for Bitcoin and Ether for their customers. This is loopy. So as we reflect on consideration on what is going on here, right, the regulators are handing this area off to Wall Street and the large TradFi men, however this was going to be, you understand, this turned into going to be the case. Anyone could have visible this from a mile away, mainly with what become happening lower back in 2023 with, you already know, Operation Choke Point 2.0. But one factor that I will say is that is technically very bullish for XRP. I do not find it irresistible. It's not something that I'm very glad about because you already know we're handing over that manage. However, it is very bullish for XRP. And in case you do keep XRP, you then have to be satisfied approximately this technically. If we cross over here with BNY Mellon, first US bank that the SEC has accepted to custody crypto, you will someday be capable of maintaining crypto for your conventional bank account, just like cash. Big shout out to Chad Sungra before this, however, sure, technically he's proper. Because the one aspect that I've constantly stated about crypto, and more so approximately the adoption of crypto, is having these names like BNY Mellon, you already know, Bank of America, Citi being able to have crypto in your financial institution account, on your traditional financial institution account, is a recreation changer. Why? Well, you recognize for us, for those which might be already on this space, this is aware of the generation that knows how the technology works or how to set up a wallet. As a minimum, you've been around this area for a touch bit of time, you realize. We're beforehand of like 99% of the general public. And the motive why I say that is due to the fact a lot of human beings will no longer be investing into crypto or holding crypto until their bank account clearly gives crypto custody, and it is because they do not agree with it. They don't like, you realize, happening to a centralized change or even a DEX and shopping for crypto. It confuses them. They're technologically illiterate. I'm going to simply say it, right? They don't know how the tech works. They don't know a way to pass about it. They don't know how to set up wallets. So being capable of, you realize, study it, which I think is a huge step for a variety of humans, because nowadays people don't want to research matters. Being able to analyze the process of putting in wallets, having cold garage set up, it places you beforehand of such a lot of humans, the bulk 99%. I've usually said 99% due to the fact you recognize it is not an exaggeration. It is 99% of the general public. When you observe how many human beings maintain a number of those altcoins like XRP, it is crazy. But it is why we are in advance of the 99%, because we're already invested. We're already retaining those property before. The sheep and the herd jumps into crypto because all of a sudden BNY Mellon or Bank of America or Citi or JP Morgan is now imparting crypto custody to their customers. That's where the big wave comes. Now, additionally over here, we have Ripple and XRP generation of tokenized property starts. BNY Mellon, the arena's biggest custodian bank, reviews that 97% of asset managers consider tokenization will revolutionize finance. BNY Mellon's head of digital belongings merchandise, the parts for Ripple, lower back in January of 2024, has Ripple located the XRP ledger to dominate the tokenization of real international property. Now, this video is from Paul Barron. Before I play this actual brief, I just need to mention, yeah, it truly is another issue to consciousness on right here. Tokenized property are going to be the car that this is going to, I assume, transact round. And in case you follow in which the cash is going, you probably would agree. Here's a clip to speak about that. BNY Mellon is the sector's largest custodial financial institution. They're the financial institution that your bank's financial institution with. And they did a look at of institutional asset managers to get their reviews on what they consider this space. And that record determined that 97% of asset managers trust that tokenization will revolutionize the asset management industry. The ones with greater than $1 trillion, basically the most important asset managers, 100% of them are interested in this area. So I do not know about you, but I even have constantly been told, comply with the cash. And that is wherein the money is going. And if you do follow the cash and you additionally comply with the important actions of key executives, because that commonly is every other indicator. Here's one right here. BNY Mellon's head of digital asset product departs for, guess what, Ripple. So do you guys see this? I suggest with a bit of luck you're watching this right now and you are thinking that is the ability bellwether thing of the marketplace. This is going to begin to certainly perk its head up there in phrases of actual world assets and tokenized securities. And yeah, you already know what, if we actually do consider following the money, yeah, we need to examine these gamers which are on the board of directors at Ripple. we must look at those players which might be leaving those big positions and going over to Ripple as nicely as it indicates you that they have a ton of self-assurance in the back of the fulfillment of Ripple. And if we consider the generation that Ripple is pioneering, all of a surprising, we ought to look at all proper nicely what tech are they the use of. They're the use of XRP and the XRP ledger. And if we move over right here as properly, here we've got JP Morgan's Chief of Regulatory Affairs, Sandy O'Connor, additionally serves on the board of Ripple. Big shout to Smoke Dog for this. And not best does she serve on the board of administrators, and she, or he's from JP Morgan, but she's also, and allow me to open this up in a brand new tab real quick, she's also chair of the board of BNY Mellon. Ainum, thrilling. So another participant that has a connection back to BNY Mellon. Now also in BNY Mellon's document, the arena's biggest custodian of assets with 48 trillion in asset middle management. That is their confidential presentation. Illustration of blockchain and financial offerings virtualscape highlights Ripple and Stellar as unique infrastructure and base protocols. The simplest two with this designation, and observe the list here. Look at how many gamers are in reality in this listing. And we have at the lowest below special Ripple and Stellar. Very thrilling. Now why would that be? But over right here we've got a number of the motives why BNY Mellon categorized Ripple and Stellar as unique blockchains. Ripple and Stellar are the simplest corporations that provide the utility of DLTs to correspond to banking infrastructures. Ripple and Stellar had been each documented with the aid of BNP Paribas as open protocols for institutions. Ripple and Stellar had been both stated within ISO documentation as blockchains with interoperability throughout the SWIFT network. And if we virtually appearance right here, we've got Ripple and Stellar because the most stated use cases. So blockchain technology for remittances and payments, as it is going to be elevated upon in section the application of blockchain technologies to correspondent banking. Best Ripple and Stellar provide packages of DLTs to correspondent banking infrastructures. And additionally over right here, we have open protocols for establishments, Ripple with XRP and Stellar, a Ripple by product. And on the remaining slide right here, we additionally have, this is the whole breakdown proposed in shape of standards to permit interoperability and governance across blockchains. We have similar to the SWIFT ISO 22 popular permitting interoperability. And that is at some stage in that interledger protocol. And once more, you realize if we honestly reflect on consideration on what is happening right here, it is clear that the connections and the hyperlinks again to Ripple and even Stellar. I mean, we've to mention Stellar and XLM as nicely because it's very vast. But it's loopy when you examine lots of the files, the PDF documents, the connections back to agencies, just like the IMF, the World Bank, the World Economic Forum, even the BIs. It's crazy how extensive Ripple has become in only the final couple of years. Although it's been in the center of a lawsuit, literally in the center of a lawsuit. That's why I usually say like avoid. The SEC at all expenses do not even take note of what they are saying because it is all nonsense. It is a distraction far from the actual value, but also outside of this over here from Mr. Man XRP.